water that Denmark are having some problems on board their boat. They're trying to sort it out. Looks like they're going to have a board issue there, so we will see if they need a shore crew to come on board and help them fix it, or if they can do it themselves. Stevie, these boats are simple in nature, but they're very technical underneath that cargo fiber.
Yeah, hugely technical, and I think the thing you get on a day like today is they're doing quite a lot of crashing, so they're going from full speed with up and foiling to some deep crash downs because of the sort of changeable, variable nature of the breeze. So as soon as you do that, you put massive load through all of the units on the boat, and that's where you can perhaps have some of these slight teething problems. It's just so hard to sail the boat smoothly that there's a lot of extra force going out on the boat, and yeah, it's just meaning we're having a few delays as they try and keep things tidy.
In case you're wondering where the rest of the teams are, we have gone to split fleet racing here on Super Sunday. So we have split the fleet 6 and 5 with the loss of DS Team France and the loss of Black Foils New Zealand after their collision yesterday. So A, B, and then each team will get 5 points for a win. At the end of these 2 races, we will find out who the top 3 teams are on points, and we'll have ourselves a good old-fashioned event final here in New Zealand.
We saw a bit of a super fan in the crowd there, Tom. That was Lily Draper, Chris Draper's daughter, cheering on the Artemis team out there. They'll be hoping for a result. Artemis need a good result. They're pretty much in a direct battle with Los Gaios to make the final. Emirates GBR will be in the final. Bond's Flying Rouge will be in the final, as long as they deliver their boat safely to the finish here. It's Artemis versus Los Gaios in terms of a good result. As we hear Draper wind trimmer, let's get things going here. We see the Swiss are early back in the boat, and the Spanish are going to control things with Artemis. They're going to be careful. That line in the middle of our screen, when that turns white, would go. The favoured position has been the line, so it's all about timing here. The teams are late into the box. It's a small box. Can Artemis control Gaius? Good manoeuvre here by Artemis. The Swiss, I love the positioning of Sam there. He's got the boat set up well on board Switzerland. Rolex pole predicts on Artemis, but he's going to struggle to accelerate with the US team there. Canfield control things. Line's about to turn white. Who's got it right? Oh, Taylor Canfield, beautiful start by the USLGP team. Great at the top of the line from the Swiss, and Los Gaios fly over the top of Artemis in the battle to the final.
So we're getting word that Rockwell, Denmark will not be able to race, so now it becomes 5 boats battling out here in the final fleet race, and it is the Stars and Stripes, Lady Liberty flying high as they approach mark number 1.
First tactical opportunity to get a split here. It looks like Canfield likes the breeze for an early manoeuvre. We can see top right-hand side of the screen, there's good wind coming down the course. The grandstand really putting a bit of a wind shadow across the course. So, all boats manoeuvre on the mark. Fantastic manoeuvre by the US there. Look how smooth they are on board. Australia cut the corner. Slingsby dives inside. He's potentially up to second, but it's tight, tight, tight.
Want to come back out this way.
Coaching team there, Marcus Lynch. He's been the head coach of the team there, done a really nice job on the US team, made some nice improvements, and they're out stretching their legs to the lead. Can they keep it tight for the race? So changeable out here, Hannah, though. There's a lot of golf left in this hole.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like we've got a bit of a left rotation in the wind direction here. They're sailing not quite as far down the course, which means there's going to be more manoeuvres in this first leg down to gate 2.
Pretty wide on the course. Taylor Canfield there crossing the bow. Pretty smooth. It's light on the course at the moment. So approach gate 2. You hear them saying it's soft. Course left. So Canfield looks like he wants a right turn at the bottom here. He's seeing wind in the top of our screen. But what are they going to do? Complex manoeuvre coming here, ladies. Nice job there. Los Gaios are going to split the course, but they're ahead of Artemis, crucial in that race towards the final here. Lisa, it seems like the breeze has dropped out there.
Yeah, it has dropped out here, but it is kind of coming in and out where I'm seeing under the bridge. It looks like some more winds coming, so I wouldn't panic too much. But as you're saying, it is really tough out here, and I think trying to adapt to what you've got at the time, and you heard the coaches in the coaching booth working overtime. It's also hard because they're communicating so much on the boat, so there's that real balance of knowing what to say, when to say it, and when it's really important.
Tight here, Artemis at the top versus Switzerland, tight cross right of way. Artemis, I think it's all clear, but it looks to me
shift on that right-hand side, so they're having to push all the way across past the Spanish, which might open up a bit of leverage for them.
As it stands right now, guys, it would be the Bons Flying Roos, Emirates GBR, and Los Gallos, Spain that would be going into the event final.
Maths teacher would be proud of me, Todd. I thought I had that right in the head at the moment, but it's consistently been better breeze at the bottom of our screen, where that is right now. We call that the right-hand side of the course. However, look at the wind shift that Los Gallos have got. They're sailing nearly directly up the ladder lines, progressing towards that next gate very, very quickly right now. They could cut the corner on the US here, but it's all going to come down to the wind at the top.
Spain are going to go right turn.
66 knots an hour on Los Gallos there, much slower on the US boat on the right-hand side of the course.
Yeah, I love that. You heard Andrew Campbell there saying Spain are going to go right turn. It's like he thinks he's on board their boat, but he knows Spain are going to do one manoeuvre and it's easiest to do that. US team, they're going to have the right of way here. Doesn't look like they make left turn. Expect a manoeuvre for the US. Los Gallos have got to either be sure to cross. No, jet behind. Safe. Good call. Oh my life. Oh my goodness. No, US manoeuvred there. They were blocked in front of Los Gallos. That was all fair. That was just aggressive racing. No surprises there. Two-time World Match Race champion Canfield. He loves this one-on-one tussle, and he's not going to give Los Gallos an inch.
So Spain plays it safe. Los Gallos, currently as it stands right now, they would make the event final after this race. They would join the Bons Flying Roos of Australia and Emirates GBR, the reigning and defending SailGP champions.
Great shot, that is. I mean, firstly, look how beautiful the city of Sails looks with a bit of sunshine on it there, but as well as we see the Swiss turning round, there's definitely opportunity on this course for the teams at the back, but you've got to do good manoeuvres. Swiss team turn, got to stay foiling fast.
The big thing that's changed for me now, we're under 30 kilometers an hour of wind. You have to be pushing the boat, as Los Gallos are really pressing across over the US team there. There's a kind of a bit of a barrier where you've got to hold back if it gets breezier, but you've got to be pushing when the wind drops.
Umpire message there, outside the boundary.
Unforced error.
That is an unforced error, really. They're trying to make the course wide as possible at the top to minimise manoeuvres later on, but when it's this shifty, it's just not worth that risk because you don't know what you're going to get further down. And at the moment, you can see it's a good wind shift, good breeze for Artemis. They look like they're making some gains along with the Swiss, and it's light on the US team. Let's see how this plays out down the course. Last chance saloon for Artemis, though. Leg 4 is 6. Only one more upwind leg to go before the finish, and they've got to look to overtake the Spanish if they want to make the final.
5 more.
Los Gallos dips behind the Bons Flying Roos as Taylor Canfield and the US SailGP team have re-emerged in first place. Has not changed the standings as it is right now, with still Australia, GBR, and Spain going into our event final.
Yeah, but for the 2026 season as a whole, these will be crucial points for the US SailGP team. Exactly where they'll finish here, I've got to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Trying to keep up with the two groups is hard. We know Bons Flying Roos are in the final, and we know as it stands, unless Artemis can get past Los Gallos, it will be Los Gallos in the final as well, who will race against Emirates GBR for the title here. But the US SailGP team, if you can keep these two previous SailGP champions behind you, what a confidence booster that'll be as we head to Sydney.
I want to remind you, coming up February 28th and March 1st, in 2 weeks' time, it'll be the KPMG Sydney Sail Grand Prix. That will be quite a show. But we still got more racing to go here in Auckland, in the city of Sails, and it is the US SailGP team with Taylor Canfield now extending their lead to almost 200 meters.
Lisa, it feels like, you know, there's a big change. What's the clouds looking like upwind of us here? Are we expecting a build again before the end of this race?
Yeah, so as you can see right now, it's a beautiful day, but there is a big gloomy cloud sitting to the south, which we're expecting to push in. But no, right now, the breeze has rotated a little bit, but as these clouds come in and out, it'll keep changing, and that really depends on how much wind we have, how gusty it is. I'd say it's not as gusty as it was at the beginning of the day, so a little bit easier for the sailors to navigate.
There we go, nice one, Lisa. We see big gain here for Los Gallos by stretching wide on the course. Crucial moment coming up. When the two boats come together, oh no, Spain has obviously seen a big wind shift there. If they're going to fall, they're just happy to cement second. Again, pretty mature sailing from the Spanish. I thought they'd push more to where the Bons Flying Roos are. Bons Flying Roos have got a chance to dive in at the top here. If they're inside the zone for the mark, they'll have right of way. I don't think they will be. It's going to be good news for the US SailGP team. They should be able to bring it home from here.
They may not get to the event final, Stevie and Hannah, but this has got to be great momentum for that team that's struggling to get points, and a nice way to start things off here in event number 2.
Good game, and it's the Aussies that made a gain over Los Cayos here. Shouldn't matter in the race in the final, but again, if we think about this 3-boat final coming up, Slingsby's looking fast out on the water today.
As they come to the line, the Emirates winning moment goes the way of the U.S. Sail GP team as they get the final fleet race win here in Auckland.
Yeah, second nice race. That was a really nice race. I mean, best start, sailed solid, no mistakes. They'll be so happy with that as they leave here, Los Cayos. Well, they've done a brilliant race after a tricky first event in Perth. I was worried for them in the first race today, Hannah, when they couldn't race. Another solid one for Artemis, but I think they're going to walk away from here fourth again. They're not going to want that to become their lucky number.
So Artemis crossing the line just behind Los Cayos, and you sense frustration on board with Nathan Atteridge, Chris Draper, and their crew. All right, guys, let's go back to the start of this race, the final fleet race in unusual circumstances for the first time Sail GP instituting split fleet racing.
Yeah, we've got a chance to see why Taylor Camfield is